Let me ask you this. Was there ever a time in your life where you thought that you would never get married?
Yes.
Did you see what Robert Irwin said about being the next Bachelor?
No.
He's done interviews about it now.
And he's never been unfriendly. You disagree.
The show has begun. Well, welcome in. How you feeling?
Welcome
How's
back
it going?
to the Seriously Show.
We have a major announcement. We say that every podcast, don't we?
Why do I never know what the major announcements are until you say them?
Well, on his journey to becoming an American citizen, the one and only David Marie has passed his
Learner's Permit Driving Knowledge Test for the state of Ohio.
It only took him 2 years to do it.
I know. Well, I've been technically driving on my UK license. After a certain point, you have to get an Ohio State driver's license. And last night I was just in the mood.
Which is weird because are you ever really in the mood to take it's like a written test, right?
Yeah, but I learned that you could do it online.
Yeah.
And so what I did was in the morning, I started my day with a little YouTube and coffee for practice tests. And I was like, you know what? These questions aren't that hard. Okay, there's a couple trick questions. They give you a little try to, send you one way. It's actually the other way.
Right. Don't I know it? Failed my test 7 times, remember?
You're kidding.
We'll get to that.
7?
We'll get to it later. We'll get to it.
And I got home last night. It's 7 p.m. And it's you only have 60 minutes to complete the test. So I'm thinking to myself, I could smash this out in 30 minutes. Surely. Sign up. It's pretty intense when you do it online. It says, turn your webcam on. If your mouse cursor goes outside of the red box, you disqualify because it means you could be looking at something else.
Oh, right. No ChatGPT.
No ChatGPT. They take photos of you every few seconds to check that no one else is in the room.
Legit.
Or so it's pretty legit. And then it says, when you're ready, your time will begin. 40 questions total. If you get, you're allowed to get 10 wrong. So as soon as you get 11 wrong, that's it. You're done.
10 wrong. That kind of seems like a lot.
I know. That's why I was so confident going into it. First question. If somebody gets pulled over by law enforcement for a distracted driving, do they pay a fine? A. Do they have to do a distracted driving course? B. Do they have to, there was something else. And then D was all of the above. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way it's that intense. You just get a fine, call it a day.
Yeah.
First question on the test, wrong, all of the above. So I'm like, we are off to a stellar of a start. But started cruising after that. Final score, they actually stopped me early because I was so good.
Wow.
I only answered 32 questions, got 30 correct. 2 incorrect, and it just popped up and said you have passed.
So now what do? You have to go take the actual driver's test, don't you?
So now I have to go to the BMV, not the DMV.
Right, I remember.
And I take the piece of paper that I got with the QR code saying I passed that, and I can take a test. Basically, drive around a lot. And in Ohio, you have to do the maneuverability test.
Oh, yeah, parallel park that bad
you
boy.
Remember, you drive forward to the right, back it up.
Yeah.
So.
And you're not allowed to use a backup camera.
Actually, I found out you are.
What?
You are not allowed to solely rely on it. So you can look at it, but you need to, if you just stared at it the whole time and didn't check any mirrors,
right?
They would deduct quite a lot of points. In the maneuverability test, you can, I think, lose 25 points.
I'm very proud of you for taking the initiative, for doing it, for getting all your questions right. And yes, I failed my written test 7 times.
7?
We've talked about this before. Don't shame me.
I know. I think I did the same reaction as well. I was like, 7.
Listen, I understand it's ridiculous to fail your written driver's test 7 times. I just think that I had test anxiety. I was only 16 too, so I was and all my friends already had their permit and whatever, and my anxiety was through the roof. B, they did have all those trick questions in there where one answer could be right, but another answer is more right, It's just super annoying.
Right.
And 3, remember, I couldn't see. I mean, after I passed my written test, I failed my eye exam. So the odds were just stacked against me from the jump.
Oh, and I do have the advantage of driving for 20 years when I took yesterday's test.
Are you used to driving on the opposite side of the road yet?
Yes, I have completely converted. And if I were to go back to the other side, that would be more of a mental adjustment.
But it's not only driving on the opposite side of the road. The whole steering wheel is on the opposite side of the car.
I know, but to be honest with you, if you change lanes, if I was driving on the left side and the steering wheel was on the left side, that would be so much worse. Because your steering wheel is always on the side that the lane divider would be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So in South Africa, it was driving on the left-hand side, steering wheel on the right-hand side. So you can always know how far over you are on that side.
Sure.
In some cases, people have American cars in South Africa. So it's left-hand steering wheel, left-hand lane.
Oh, my word.
That's
sakes.
hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I go back to South Africa next year, it will take a day and I'll adjust.
Yeah, it took quite the adjustment when you came over to the United States. I remember driving in the car with you thinking maybe I should be the driver from now on.
I would always drift. I'd always drift.
Yeah, not great. Okay, what else is going on? We saw Tom Sandoval again.
We did. We
totally forgot to tell people that we were doing that.
It was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. You actually got invited by the venue, House of Blues.
Yes, it was very fun.
And shout out to House of Blues. They treated us wonderfully with some appetizers.
Goat cheese balls. First time ever that I had goat cheese balls. Pretty good, gotta say.
Pretty darn good. And different kind of energy, I would say. It wasn't as... I think I felt bad because he was competing with the Cleveland Guardians baseball game.
True.
And they were on a run before the playoffs. So I felt like the crowd was a little smaller. Venue was a little bigger.
Yeah, so that could be part of it.
But still a great performance.
Yeah, I mean, they are just show people. It was just a different vibe this time around, I feel. First of all, it's actually a me problem. At age 32, I no longer enjoy concerts unless I have elbow room and a seat to myself, right? Because I'm sitting there at this concert, and I don't know why every time we go to these concerts, the people next to us have absolutely lost all common sense in their frontal lobe.
Weird.
But it's like, these people are all over you. I don't know you, lady. This close away from my face, being like, when Tom Sandoval comes up, can I come dance with you? And I'm like, no. I literally said no.
There was so much space.
I don't
on
understand
this banister.
it.
There was so much. So they seated us in like this section, right?
Yeah.
And there was absolutely nobody in the left of us.
Nobody.
And you could argue that it like was either better or just as good seating.
Yeah.
And then not to mention on the entire side of the like area where people were sitting was even more seating.
Right.
And when I went to the restroom later in the show, I realized that our seats were actually worse than like just being on the side. And this girl was like adamant to stand where we were standing.
I know. It was so bizarre.
It was very bizarre.
And she's like, I'm his number one fan. 30 minutes into the concert, gone, disappeared, nowhere to be found. Pretty sure she skipped out on her check as
Irish
well.
goodbye because the waitress said to us, do you know where those people have gone? Because they didn't pay their check.
Yeah. I just have
weird.
reached the point in my life where I no longer find places like that energy around me. I don't find it enjoyable anymore. And maybe that makes me like a buzzkill, but it's the truth.
Well, I think if it was somebody that like you were really, really, really into, like if it was a Justin Bieber show or a Harry Styles show, you'd probably be losing your mind.
Oh, for
But
sure, for sure.
We wouldn't do that to like the local punk pop band.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, I was going to shows every weekend, raging.
Yeah. Rubbing up next to people. You were being the annoying person.
I would be sweating balls and I would just be
Not
absolutely
sweating balls.
all over the show. So,
Well, you wrote Tom Sandoval monkey bars in the notes.
yeah, I just thought it was hilarious. He did such a rock star move. He jumped off the stage onto like these monkey bars, and we'll try and roll a clip here, at least on social media, but because I filmed it, he like monkey barred all the way down the side of the stage, climbed up to the like mezzanine level seating.
Yeah.
And performed the rest of the song up there, then jumped down and monkey barred back. And even his like sound crew was looking up at him like, he is crazy. Yeah. And it was a true rock star moment.
Yeah, it was.
He is in his element when he's on stage.
And you know what though? It feels a little less special now because I saw he's doing it at other shows.
The monkey bar thing.
Yeah. Anytime there's something to climb around him, he is all over it.
Remember who did that? MGK.
MGK was hanging off. First of all, it was a stadium show. It was in Cleveland Brown Stadium. And you know, those, speakers. Those speakers were
tower speakers.
Way high.
Yeah.
Climbed all the way up it. Wrapped
harness.
his legs around the thing and leaned backwards. I was like, we're about to witness MGK's final moments, and we're just sitting here watching him. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
So anyways, Tom Sandoval and the most extras. Who would have thought we'd see them twice? Who would have thought they'd come to Cleveland twice? In 1 year. It's always a good time. Like, I just late Saturday night, stuck in traffic.
Yeah, that was us competing with the Guardians baseball game, but we did stay and meet him afterwards again.
We did, yes. I'm just going to be so for real with you.
Go ahead.
I feel like he does not like me.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you think he pretends not to remember you when he sees you?
I don't know, but I've had this same interaction with him now 3 times.
Yeah.
Which to me is not a coincidence. Because I remember saying this to you the first time we met him in Vegas, where I'm like, I don't know if he knows who I am.
And that was way more intimate.
Yeah.
We were like, there was 4 of us in a room.
I was like, I don't know if he knows. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, because it's like, who am I? Who am I in this world? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that clueless to think that everybody knows who I am in that realm. But same exact energy where, there's 3 of us talking to each other, but he's not actually talking to me. He's only talking to you. His side profile is to me. And every once in a while, he gives me side eye glances. And that is the extent of the interaction that I've had with him now on 3 different occasions.
Yeah, I remember the last time he came to Cleveland, we were way more conversational.
Yeah.
And I thought he did remember us. I told him about the Vegas hotel story and he seemed to remember that. I keep remembering that happened at the height of Sandoval.
True.
I understand what you're saying. And I think he's also in the meet and greet mood because there was a lot of people in line waiting to chat with him. But at the end of the day, he was very pleasant. He signed my beer cozy. So that's important.
Also do wonder if it doesn't have anything to do with like me being a Bravo commentator, in that you are just so like warm and welcome. And so he just gravitates more towards you. And then I feel like the awkward person, like.
It could be, but I also think you're overthinking it because you're in that world and you don't worry what people think of you in that space, but you're mindful of it.
Well, I just believe, it's such a toxic industry, honestly. It really is. And the more toxic you are and the more negative you are about people, the more people watch your stuff, the more people tune in. Right. And I just have made a decision that I'm not going to do that. And this is not to be like a holier than thou situation or whatever. But I just like, it makes me feel gross inside because I've done it before, honestly. But so I always like fear that I still am coming across as a negative person when I do believe, obviously, that everybody deserves second chances and that people make mistakes in life. And one decision isn't indicative of who you are for the rest of your life. So I don't believe that Tom Sandoval is like this evil person. I mean, even when I posted something about me going, I had people in the comment section and they're like, really, Morgan? Like, I thought we were blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, is it really that deep? I mean.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is tough for you in the position that you're in. but at the end of the day, he seems way happier doing what he's doing now.
True.
That seems to be like where he's trying to take his career. So we go for the show, we leave.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It ain't that deep.
Yeah. And I will say, because I want to like make it clear, the second time we met him, he was way friendlier to me, I thought.
And he's never been unfriendly. You disagree? I wouldn't say unfriendly. I don't know. Maybe you're seeing something that I'm not, but he's never been mean.
No, I didn't. No, but I felt ignored. That's how I felt.
It's tough for you because there's been occasions where somebody in that space, some Bravo Leb, will watch every single one of your videos and always comment. Always, you'll see the story views.
Yeah.
And you'll know who watches you. And then some you don't know.
Yeah.
Or they're watching on like private or some burner account or something. So it's tough for you to know exactly who's watching and who's not.
Yeah, I think it's just some of my own insecurities.
You're probably replaying things you've said about somebody in your head while you're meeting them. You're like, oh, I wonder if they saw me when I spoke about this thing.
It's been so long, though, since I've said anything about Tom Sandoval. Honestly, it's been so long. But, and I mean, we enjoyed him on the Traitors. I mean, that's the last stuff that I've talked about him.
Was entertaining on the Traitors.
Okay, we have to stop talking about Tom Sandoval, seriously.
Yeah.
I have a Robert Irwin update for you.
Yeah, hook us up.
Did you see what Robert Irwin said about being the next Bachelor?
No.
He's done interviews about it now.
So he's opening the...
Do you know what he said? Never say never.
Never say never, mate.
Crazier things have happened.
But I didn't realize somebody in your comments told me he was 21 years old.
I know.
Too young.
I know.
Too young.
I don't disagree with you. I really don't.
I want to say minimum 25.
But don't you think age is just a number?
Who's the youngest ever Bachelor?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. But I mean, they have cast people in their early 20s before.
Yeah, 21's too young.
I think it
now
depends
you're talking about a Netflix Love Island, Love is Blind show.
Robert Irwin is not a Love Islander.
I did not say that. I'm saying if you stuck him on The Bachelor at 21, you've now turned The Bachelor into Love Island.
I don't know though, because I think it depends on the maturity of the person. Somebody can be ready for marriage at age 21 and not ready at age 31.
Maybe it would be entertaining, but could you imagine Robert Irwin on The Bachelor going on a date with like a 33-year-old?
Who says they have to cast a 33-year-old?
That's the whole point of The Bachelor, though, isn't it? A bit of like a range, and
I mean, it depends on the lead.
If you have someone mid to late 20s, they can go younger or older. Whereas somebody 21, you can't have like 18-year-olds on the show.
True. Although I can't confirm or deny if there's ever been an 18-year-old.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I just don't think it should happen now.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he could handle it, quite honestly.
I have no doubts about that. He can handle anything. Stick him on the Traitors.
Now that is an idea.
Could you imagine Robert Irwin sneaking around the cast and being like, mate, you reckon? I reckon she's a traitor, mate.
Yes.
It's a little bit sus to me.
I've been spotting snakes all my life.
Mate, she's a little bit of a snake.
Okay, anyways. Well, I want to shift gears a little bit. And actually, I don't think we've ever done something like that.
Pits. I think I do.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think we've ever done something like this on the Seriously Show before, which is a bit weird because... You know, the first episode that we ever put out was detailing our relationship history. But I actually got a DM from a listener this week that asked, how did you guys work through a long distance relationship for 5 years?
FaceTime.
They were telling me, I'm in this long distance relationship. We're struggling a bit. I look at you and David. You guys seem like such a happy couple, which we are. And they're like, how did you do it? And I thought maybe we could give some insight on how to handle a long distance relationship. It wasn't even a long distance relationship. It was cross-continental, time difference, you know, COVID era. So we should be experts.
Immigration. Do you have any more context?
Like what?
How far apart they are?
I don't really.
I mean, honestly, it's so cliche, but the number one thing is communication.
Yes.
If you know that you're not going to be able to communicate, and this, my biggest thing that I was guilty of was when I would go into phases where I couldn't talk, I wouldn't tell you that, hey, I'm going to be on a trip, or I'm going to be on a train, or I'm going to be in a meeting.
Yeah.
Or, hey, the worst ones would be like, because of the time difference, I would go to bed earlier or later, and you wouldn't hear from me for like 8 to 12 hours.
Right.
So the communication thing, my point is, if you are going to go through phases where you're not able to communicate, just say that up front.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this week is going to be rough for me. Hey, this weekend I'm doing this, traveling, taking this train, catching this plane. So you're probably going to hear less from me this weekend.
Right.
Communication is the biggest one, honestly. I don't really have it. Nothing else is coming to mind because it all starts with that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess the other one would be what your end goal is in mind.
Yes.
You know, Morgan and I were able to get through our situation because our eyes were on the fiance visa and getting through that process. So we had that going for us.
Yeah. Like long distance relationships are hard, but I would always say that not being with you would have been way harder because
true.
in my heart, I knew that you were the person that I wanted to be with. I knew that this long distance situation was not going to last forever because we were always working towards the future. So if you're in a long distance relationship and you don't have any future goals together, you know, that might be indicative of whether or not you're actually with the right person for you. Because even when we weren't able to see each other for a year and a half during COVID, even when, you know, we were young in our careers and didn't have all the money in the world to be traveling back and forth from London to the United States, I didn't have any doubt that you were the person that I was going to marry. So I knew everything would be temporary. And if we could just get through this temporary stretch, that would lead us to our next, you know, place together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I think you're going to find it a lot more difficult to endure if you haven't had a conversation of what's next. So for you and I, it was often, hey, in 3 months, I'll fly over there. At this point, I'll apply for this thing.
Yeah.
We knew we had spoken about getting married, and you knew I was going to propose eventually. And you need to have these milestones. If you're just randomly staying together and hoping something changes one day,
yeah,
then you might be putting yourself in a situation where you're just constantly wondering.
Yeah. And you can tell, I think, when the other person isn't as on board as you are, you know, like if they're dragging their feet to make any decision. And that's not to say that every decision David and I made was easy. I mean, you had to uproot your whole life, which I'm like super grateful for. And it's scary to think, like, we did talk about me going to London. We talked about him coming here, but at the end of the day, it made most sense for both of us for you to come here. But you can tell if somebody like really doesn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't say you have to have everything figured out. It's more, that's why I was asking if you have more context on her situation.
Right.
Because if it's very early stages, honestly, maybe the next milestone is, when are we going to see each other next?
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah.
And then you're both working towards that thing. Because now you've got a thing, like a shared goal. Hey, we have to look at flights together.
Right.
Hey,
right.
we have to look at dates together. Hey, we should look at where we can stay. Are you going to stay at my place? Are we going to stay here? Are we going to stay there? So if you're not like, you and I were so deep in our relationship, we were starting to talk about finances and where we were going to live and where to
job
be,
situations.
Like we were deep in that. If it's a new relationship, just keep it simple. When am I going to see you again? Let's work towards that. And then when you are together in the same place, gauge how that is. And maybe before you separate physically again, say, where do you see this going? Have that conversation and make the most of the time in person.
Let me ask you this. Was there ever a time in your life where you thought that you would never get married?
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
When I moved to London, it was 2016. I was 26 years old, had come out of a relationship, and I was just so independent. I moved away from my family, and I was so career oriented at that point. Mm-hmm. I was doing absolutely everything I could to just be career focused. And I just pictured myself doing things when I wanted, where I wanted, and not needing to consult a partner in that. And at the time, that's what I wanted to do.
Don't you think that your view on marriage was indicative of the previous relationships that you have been in? Because that's how I was. I was also like, I don't know if I want to get married. I also was very career oriented, which you can be both, by the way. You can be married and you can be career oriented.
Yeah,
it's not one or the other.
Now.
I feel like that's a lie that people tend to believe in this day and age. But I really bought into that narrative where if I wanted to be successful, I had to be single, independent, only relying on myself. And until you and I got back together, that was like a light switch moment where like it all changed for me. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm smiling, is you changed my perspective on it. I was the same way. And when I realized how career oriented you were, and that you weren't in a rush to get married and have kids, because that was a big thing for me. It's like, sure, I want a family, but I don't want a family right now.
Right.
And I guess deep down I'm risk averse, even though I'm a bit chaotic and wild at times. I wanted more of a stable foundation in place before I started thinking about a family. And I basically was, when you and I were looking at just our future together, it was aligned in that you were really focused on your career. I was really focused on mine. Things were starting to happen in my career in a really positive way. And you were also inspiring me to at the time you were also trying to go on your own, around about the pandemic. That was when you started your social media and things started working out for you. So it was very clear to me that we could build a life together and still drive our careers. So it's just, it changed the way that I saw how it can be.
Yeah.
And now I consider everything we do a partnership. I'm a huge advocate of, when you are ready to get married, combine your finances, it's not a me thing anymore. It's a we thing. If I get a raise, we got a raise. If you got a brand deal, we got a brand deal. If you got a bonus from TikTok, we got a bonus from TikTok.
Right.
So I think that's ultimately where it's led us to, and we're almost ready to get into that next chapter of starting a family. But a bit of a ramble, but
that's good.
Kind of what
my brain is just going to right now, because everybody's talking about this new Taylor Swift album, The Life of a Showgirl, and it's her 12th album, and everyone's saying I don't know how to say this. There's some backlash over it.
The album.
Yeah. I think I'm not a huge Swiftie, so don't come for me. I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, my thoughts.
Yeah. We know. But people are talking about how it seems a little bit lyrically more shallow, this album, because she's known for being this poet. That's technically her shtick, is that she writes these really deep and meaningful lyrics. And not to say that there isn't any on this new album, but it's a bit lighter. A lot of it is talking about her relationship with Travis Kelce, and now she just wants to get married, have a basketball hoop in the yard, have kids running around the block that look like Travis Kelce, and people are just kind of taken aback by it. But there's this one lyric in this Taylor Swift song where she says I told myself I didn't believe in marriage, that was a lie. And I was just like, it's so true for women who are kind of sold this lie that if you want the career success, you have to be 100% independent, and a man is only going to bring you down and suffocate you, when the truth is it's the exact opposite. The right person for you only propels you even further forward in your career because they're supportive of you. You like do everything you can in your power to help me succeed with things that I need help with. That lyric hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm not even a Swiftie.
Wow, Taylor, get into the morgue dizzle.
Not the morgue dizzle.
I wholeheartedly agree. And I think that's like you change as well as you grow up. And I think Taylor Swift has probably changed from the first lyrics she wrote till now, obviously. I think that's why some Justin Bieber fans get bummed that he's grown up and he's started a family and his image is a lot different than what it used to be. Cutie little Justin, you know, we get older.
He's still cutie little Justin.
We get older. It's just, that is a fact.
Yeah.
You know, you asked me earlier if my thoughts on marriage were based on like previous relationships, and I don't think so, because I was problematic in other relationships because I was immature.
Yeah.
Because I had my own things to figure out, my own things to work on. And you get through that, you get older, you get more mature, you get more life experience. And the sooner you can accept that you are going to get older, your life is going to change as you get older, the more you can just enjoy the moment that you're in.
True.
And that isn't to say I'm still a child at times, because that's just who I am. I like to do silly things.
10 or 90.
I'm gonna do that. But at the same time, I also need to make sure my taxes are paid. And I also need to make sure that we're figuring out where we're going to live.
Yeah.
And I do my learner's permit test so I can get a driver's license.
Yes.
Balance.
It's all about balance, baby.
Wow. What a rant. Good sesh there.
Yeah, good job. Look, we can be serious.
The seriously so turn to the serious show.
Okay, let's go back to our immature side and talk about the Seriously Award of the Week.
Seriously Award of the Week.
And nobody is going to even think that this is funny except for us.
This is gonna. I saw the notes and I was like, no. First of all, you wrote it down wrong. But second of all, no one else is going to care.
Well, do you have something better?
Not really.
Exactly. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 notes that we have, mine are all in red. 5 of them. There's 1 from David.
Well, I actually do have another one, but I was going to save it for another episode.
No, go ahead. I'm putting you on the spot.
You know the progressive ads that say, new homeowners, we can help you with the home insurance, but we can't stop you from becoming your parents.
Yeah.
I had one of those moments so deeply in Sam's Club, and as soon as the words, I was like conscious of myself about to say it, and I was like, don't say it, hold it in, and it just came out.
What?
I was in Sam's Club, which is Walmart's version of Costco, if you're not familiar, and they have this giant section of sweatpants and like flannel shirts and just a bunch of really cheap but cool, decent brand clothing.
Sure.
And me and this guy are standing next to each other holding up a pair of these travel pants, they were called. And they were $13. And I looked at the sign and I looked at him and he was so keen on them. I was so keen on them. And we were in each other's space. And I was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. And all of a sudden I was like, they're practically giving these away, hey? And deep down, I was just like, why did I say it? I am becoming my dad. And he was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then we just sort of walked away because we realized how stupid it was.
Classic example of how different David and I are when it comes to social settings.
You would have not said a word.
I'm never speaking to anybody in public ever. ever. A stranger.
I just
never.
had to share it with somebody. They were so cheap and they were so great. I actually bought these that day.
Wow, that's why you put your legs up on the couch to show them off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even though we haven't had a YouTube video in how many weeks?
Actually, I uploaded last week.
Really?
Yep.
All 3 of them?
No, I haven't. I decided to not backlog.
Oh, well then.
Otherwise, we're not going to current log.
True.
So what's your Seriously Award of the week?
No, I got to save it.
Save it.
We got to save it for another time.
Okay, so my Seriously Award of the week is...
Dave is becoming his dad.
Becoming my dad.
I could have let me start a running list of ways that you become your dad and little glimpses that I catch throughout the week.
When I don't smile in picture, open my eyes in pictures.
Oh no, there's tons, but we'll leave it there.
We will leave it there. Thank you for joining us. The Seriously Show on Instagram. We're 5 people.
Actually, I think we're 6 because somebody
1,000.
Somebody unfollowed us. Let me see. Yeah, 994.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
after I started saying that I didn't dislike Taylor Swift, but I didn't like her. I actually that doesn't even make sense.
We need 6 more people.
6
Come
more.
on, the Seriously Show on Instagram. We'll do something fun.
Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next week.